Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. We got Lena, Sibo Girl, Quasi, and I know Emily's in there somewhere. She just hadn't said anything yet, but I can see her. Um, got some Judge Fleischer and more Thurston County fun. Got an odd one from Thurston County. It's a kind of a weird one, and so we're gonna jump into the Judge Fleischer. Got a warm up one to get started before the other one kicks in, and so let's see what we got there.
Dismisses fitting room. Shh. The defendant exited the fitting room with style merchandise. The defendant dumped the merchandise on the rack in the fitting room. The defendant was also being observed going to the jewelry department. The complainant advised that the defendant was observed quickly selecting Kendra Scott jewelry, and the defendant went into the beauty department. The complainant advised that the defendant was observed quickly selecting items from the beauty department aisles. Then the defendant went to the hair care department and began selecting merchandise from this aisle. The defendant then went to the home decor department and went into the chemical aisle. The defendant began concealing the merchandise in her personal pink fanny pack. The defendant then walked toward the front of the store and passed all points of sale without rendering payment for the items that she had concealed. The complainant stated that the complainant stopped the defendant and the defendant had the items on her person. The total amount of the items was $103.92, not including tax, for 11 items.
Got it. I'll find PC then on. Okay.
Will Mr. Russell step all the way up for me?
This is Mr.
Russell?
Russell,
With an
That's
R?
right, Mr. Russell.
Joseph Russell, 2518121.
You know, Mr. Russell, all we ask for you to do is show up. When you show up, good things happen. When you don't show up and you continually pick up cases, it's not the way to go. We can't have that. Do you understand? What are we doing, Carl?
Judge, we're pleading on the evading arrest and the dismissal of criminal trespass.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Carla Fowler?
Sir. I've explained the consequences of a conviction for evading arrest to him. He understands he can't run from police anymore because the next time it'll be a felony.
Do you want more time to work these things out?
No, sir.
And if I let you out, would you like more time to work these things out?
But he explained it to me, it's fine. But I don't really understand what I want to plead guilty to the evading arrest. So.
Understand that if you run from the cops again, you will be looking at a felony charge.
Yes,
And
sir.
Mr. Russell, you have a lot of criminal history. Do you have any felony convictions?
Yes, I do.
Do you know they can use that felony conviction to enhance you now to a third-degree felony? You need to be careful. Just you run from the cops, you're looking at 2 to 10 at the penitentiary.
Kind of senseless anyway. I knew I could not run on my head. I don't know what the time before that I was in psych thing, misdemeanor charge of mental health, Harris County. My worker was MS Reynolds, I think was working on that. That was in February through March. That was totally separate of what this is.
Carl, I'll give him another PR bond if he wants to work things out. It's, if he
Okay.
wants
I'd
one.
rather do what you said. I'd rather plead guilty and get it behind me. It's done. Plead guilty to that.
Just wants to plead guilty.
Yes, sir.
Look, if that's what you want to do, that's okay.
Yes, sir.
Within 30 days, if you want to change your mind, come back. We may be able to open these and do something else.
Yes, sir.
But after 30 days, I lose jurisdiction. I can't do anything over it.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Above all else, you need to remember, don't run from
Yes,
the
sir.
cops.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, Mr. Russell, you cannot change this, but I will allow you to if you want to come back and you have a change of heart. I don't do that much.
I'll get it finished up today if I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're gonna be walking out of here today. I'll roll your court costs. You won't owe anything. Just be careful in the future,
Yes, sir.
okay? How do you plead to the evading arrest, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And we'll find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. And are the other two cases dismissed?
Yes.
All right, it looks like your other two cases, Mr. Russell, will be dismissed. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Russell, turn, face me for me.
Is it enhanced?
It's just abandoned.
Okay.
That one, Carl. Just go ahead and have a seat. Of this on there.
Is there an interpreter here? Yeah.
See if it's let's go ahead.
Mobley, and your jury box. Tested negative for pretrial gentleman in court 7. He's good on his drug test.
Yeah, but he's still out at 4 in the morning. I don't know what to do with him. Where's Mr. Mobley? He's gone. I guess we'll wait for him to show back up. And then I'll text you when he shows. Hold on, let me, Lori, are you ready? Come on.
Mr. Day, Alvin Day. He has 3 trespasses and he's pleading on the oldest.
Mr. Day,
Good morning, sir.
so you're charged with 3 counts of trespass. What are we looking as far as time?
I think it's 3 days.
It's too much. And then the system's not working too on top of it. It's like insult to injury. You, Mr. Day, on
Yes, sir.
the cases that you have, you've worked out an agreement. They're going to dismiss 2 of them. You're pleading guilty to 1 trespass. Where do you keep going to?
Same place over here by this general office. They got a lot of concrete where I can lay down at, sir. But I can't go
You don't
down.
want a bed?
Yes, I do, but I'm homeless.
What the-
I know it don't have nothing to do with the court, sir. I just can't find now. I can't find that. I've been looking. The
Lori
office,
can find you a bed. Will you take it?
no, it's concrete. It's a concrete slab around the store. And they let me sleep there.
They don't want you to go back there.
But I won't go back there.
Please don't, because if you go back there, you're gonna come right back here.
I know. I won't go back there, but they never told me that. It was just always the dinner place.
I'm telling you now, please don't go back, because if you do, they're going to call the laws again and you're gonna be right back over here. Lori, can we find him a place to go to or no? Or he won't take it?
Only a homeless shelter, and I'm not sure if he would be getting out in time to go to get there. They can do the diversion, the mental health diversion.
No, I don't want to be around no mental people. I'm already sick, ma'am.
He was given the opportunity to go to diversion prior to being arrested and he refused that. So
All we want to do is find you a bed so you don't sleep out in the cold and in the rain and on the concrete.
I could do that. But I don't want to be around no violence and all of that. I mean, I got myself in this prediction. And I hope, by God, help me get out of it.
Mr. Day, you look like you're doing great. You really look good.
I don't feel great.
You look,
Really don't.
you're sounding great though. You really are. All we want you to do is find a home, okay?
Yes, sir.
So it's 3 days in jail, credit for 12. They're going to dismiss 2 cases. You give up a bunch of rights, Mr. Day. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, test on your behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. You can never complain about this, but let's find you a bed so you have somewhere to go, so you're not on the street.
Okay, I don't have to go downtown Houston to it.
If you will, you'll be at the, yeah.
Can we get him to Star Hopeful? That you think they take him or no?
Oh,
I don't know. It would be, the best place for him to do is the mental health diversion where they pick him up and take him over there. He'll have a bed to do it, but that's not what he wants to do.
What you
Just
want today?
just give me what you think is best. Right now. What you think is best? Just give it to me.
I want you to find a bed. I want you to get off the street. It's about to rain a lot. God, I wish I had some cards that we can give him. Do we have anything that we can?
No, I don't, there's really nothing.
Do you have something that we can print out perhaps? Like start. We're going to give you some information before you leave here today so that you have somewhere to go to. All you have to do is go to the address.
I don't have a car.
I'm going to give you one. Not a car, but
You can roll, do you have a wheelchair when you're out on the street?
Yes, sure.
Well, you can roll there,
Yeah,
okay?
road around.
Star Hope.
I can't roll way over there.
it's right over here.
Wait. Sure. Okay, okay.
I mean, how far? It's kind of far, huh?
How far is it?
That I don't know.
It's a good piece from here.
But if you will accept the ride, we can get you a ride.
I accept the ride. I accept the ride. But I know I couldn't wheelchair way over there to Star Hope.
It's too late to set it up now, huh, Lori?
I don't know who would get him there because our office wouldn't be the people to pick him up, to take him there. It would, and I don't know if fact team,
Letting him out just on the street.
The cab thing.
Uber?
Uber.
Yeah, but we don't know what time you're getting out.
Uber run all night, so.
Yes, but somebody has to be there to know what time you get out. And nobody's from here will be there when you get out.
Okay.
I don't mind. Oh, you know Uber?
But you don't know when he's gonna get out, when he's processed out. And he has no way of getting in contact with him. The best thing for you to do is the mental health.
I don't wanna go around no crazy people.
Don't send him down yet, will you? Hey, you got a sec? I'm so sorry. If someone pleads guilty and they're homeless, how long does it take to process them out of jail from the time they plead to a time served? Is it possible to set up an Uber to take them to a shelter?
Excuse me, sir. Since I can't get no help, can you just roll me back to the back?
Say it again. Right.
Do you receive a check, a disability check? Do you receive a disability check?
Yes, but I'm not gonna give nobody my
Let
money.
me see if I can.
I'm not gonna tell them how much I got.
If you need a place to go,
I'll call you.
you're going to pay for a place to go.
Yeah, how much is it?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I need to know. How much is it?
I understand that.
mental health diversion, but I think he'll take a right to
Here are
start
some
over
resources.
because he's in a wheelchair. I mean,
I know you can't
I
see
don't
them,
wheel all the way to the Star Hope, it's too far.
but these are some rooming houses and where they are located.
You don't have a price, man.
Right, you have to contact.
All right, let me see. 8 hours,
8 hours of processing.
6 to 8 to process out. We can get it sooner, but we need to have like a name of someone to take, that would take them.
It's taking it, and that's what we don't have.
All right, let me figure it out.
Which sounds like what he's.
I'm taking that now. Today. Hey, did you give him something? What did you give him? Yeah.
Did Trina's get replaced by a white lady?
Yeah, she's the one at 6.
Do you want me to undo it? Wait, do you want me to undo it?
No, I'm just trying to see where we are. You were fine with going home today. Getting out today. You said you wanted to get out, that you were at the wall. That you said that you wanted to plead guilty to trespass
So I got 3 new cases.
and get out.
None of them were there. All of them were
If you wait, we can find you a ride.
That was fine. It's on the back. So what she assumed, because the other 2 weren't even said today, they just, she wanted to give me the cases, even though they're gonna be sent tomorrow. Oh, she's being proactive. Yeah.
But I'm not sure how.
While they're figuring
so
it
she
out, I'm gonna
assumed
jump
that one
in
of
and
those back-end
just say about how much I like that guy. No matter how bad his situation was, he knows that he got himself in it and he's working to get himself out. He needs to take the help, but sometimes people are just stubborn like that. And I know I've never been in that bad of a situation, but I know how stubborn I can be, so I can only imagine how bad I'll be when I get to his age.
And then I got appointed somebody else, I think.
There we go. Let's see this next fella coming up.
So Ixnay on the plea.
You did not kill your car. Reporting for duty, sir. We have Mr. Mobley. He has peed per Trentus. He has peed clean.
Come up. I'm still not happy with him going out at 4 a.m.
Well,
You can't give me a good reason. I'm putting his butt in jail.
I'd like to just say that he's a stupid 17-year-old.
I don't care.
I know.
If
But
you
he-
can't give me a good reason why the hell you're out at 4 a.m, I'm putting your ass in jail right now.
And speaking with him, Judge, there's a basketball court in his cul-de-sac, and it's just the right distance. I don't know.
And I've been doing this since I was, I be with my uncle. And I can reach him right now. I be with my uncle. We've literally been training. Don't you know how you put me on ankle monitor? My last case, it took me off the ankle monitor because I was playing sports. And then you said I lied to you about the THC. Then I'll stop doing that. I've been going to school. I've been doing everything you say right. But I haven't did.
Baloney, you've been doing everything right. That's not true at all. You've been taken off out of your house for what knows, and then why are you out at 4 a.m?
It was
Nothing good happens at 4 a.m, especially for a 17-year-old by themselves.
He is going to school. Had to miss school to come here today. He is working
I
at.
thought miss a lot more school too, Nathan.
It'd be quite unfortunate, sir. It's we're wrapped up in a felony out of same transaction, so I think it's going to slow us all down. This is a case that would.
I don't care.
I know, but this is a case that if there wasn't a credit card taken, would have been resolved very quickly. Probably already resolved. It's just the 2 courts communicating to each other to reach a mutual conclusion is slowing things down.
What's your grandfather's, or who you say uncle?
Mhm.
Are you telling me that you were with your uncle at 4 a.m?
Oh, I was outside. He'd be there. He'd be with my mom. My mom kind of lives with my mom. Then he'll train me sometimes. I go out there and train. I have a basketball court. I play basketball and football. And I go to Westfield High School. I play basketball and football. And I've still been working because I have not been able to be on the team because my ankle monitor. But I've still been working. And I go out. I literally go out anytime. Like 4 o'clock is the time. Like 4, and then I got school after that. It was nothing like. And I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't know how far it would go or anything like that.
I will say not from my personal experience, but my associate's personal experience. His child has an annoying practice schedule at like 5 a.m.
Yes.
That's why you have to reduce my time to like five to like 9. Because at first you put it at 6 o'clock.
I'm debating whether or not to put you in jail. That's what, I'm not debating whether to change your thing. I'm deciding whether I'm going to put you in jail. And I'm thinking that I'm going to, because you cannot give me a good excuse while you're out at 3, while you come home at 3:47 a.m. Why are you coming home at 3:47 a.m.?
I think what my client is saying is he was home.
No,
and
no.
Okay.
Why are you coming home at 3:47 a.m.?
Sir, I was.
No, this is when you speak.
Why coming home at 3:40?
I was outside my house. This is a cul-de-sac. I don't know how far is the ankle monitor goes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not missing the.
Francis, this is we're talking about Mr. Mobley. Do you mind pulling up his GPS monitor and finding out, it says here on August 31st, he got home at 3:47 a.m. How far out was he, please? Take your time, no rush. Let's see. You want a cause number?
Yes.
252-0456.
We'll say, Judge, the felony court did remove the GPS and the curfew. Because I don't know the inception of it. It was there, then it was here, and then they removed, but it's still here. I just wanted to like that quick.
Thanks, Nathan, but
I know.
I don't reward people taking it off when they are out at 3.
I'm just gonna argue what I've got to do.
I understand. Hey, huh?
Always.
Get ready.
Oh, I know.
Judge, she's got it looked up. I don't know what the question expressly was.
What was the question, Judge?
Where is he at? How far out is he from his home?
It doesn't let me have access to that yet, but I can message his case manager.
Do you mind, please, take a seat for me in the jury box? Yeah.
Let's see if we can do a little better with the volume on this one. Let's see if we can do a little better with the volume on this. Judge Fleischer did good with that guy. I really like how he tried to help him out, did all we can. I hope tomorrow somehow we can find out some sort of a follow-up. I know that's going to be hard, but we'll see what we can find on that. Here, let's go to Thurston County. Got some odd stuff going on there. So let's see what happens there.
Well, the party's on case number 24273. And you'll notice that I'm looking from one screen to the other. I've got my court files electronic. I am listening. I will be looking at things that you're referring to and looking back at things that I remember that I reviewed as maybe someone's testifying. But let me get kind of things open here real quick. There we go. Thanks. And so I'm going to put everybody under oath. Mr. Noah, if you'd raise your right hand. Mr. Noah, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And then Ms. Gray, if you'd raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. So this is a request for a protection order, an anti-harassment order by Mr. Noah against Ms. Gray And I see that Ms. Gray was served in court this hearing, so everyone's here. And I'm going to hear from first Mr. Noah, and likely through his attorney. And then I'll hear from you, Ms. Gray, and make that decision. I've looked at all of the information that's been filed here, but it's always, there's a lot of information, so it's helpful if as you're testifying or going through your position that you, if there's something you want me to look at again, then help me find that so I can look at it. But I'll turn first to the petitioner on behalf of Mr. Noah, Mr. Foster.
Yes, good morning again, Your Honor. Preliminarily, I believe the last time the parties were in court that Your Honor instructed them to have all materials submitted by September 3rd. It does look like quite a bit of materials were sent in by the respondent after that deadline given. So I don't know if the court has reviewed those. I would ask the court to strike a lot of those. They also contain declarations that are unsworn, unsigned, and not under penalty of perjury. I'd be asking the court to strike those. If the court has reviewed them, they're really not relevant. I don't think they really add much, but I just wanted to make that record.
So maybe I can ask just preliminarily on this motion, Ms. Gray, there was a lot of information here that it's making sure came in. So I'm going to turn to my clerk. It all says filed the 4th, so came in the 4th. Yes. Okay. All right. And
we did get some stuff from Friday though that I just got
today, Friday. Okay. Well, we're going to, that was the 6th. I don't see that here. Yeah. And there's also information from September 6th. Mr. Foster, did you file anything Friday?
I don't believe I did.
Okay. Ms. Gray, did you file things on Friday?
I did. I think that's probably the most important for the court to see, just that there's been continued contact on Kevin Noah's behalf.
Well, wait a second. So Mr. Noah is asking for an order against you, and
correct.
I ordered everybody to get things in by the 3rd, and you're still filing things, and you're expecting me to look at it from Friday that's just got filed this morning.
I was not served properly. I was not served.
A little late. That's water under the bridge. You were served in court, told about today's hearing, and we talked about that date. So that's old news. Let's go forward. You filed things on Friday that I have just gotten into my file. I actually can't even see it electronically yet today. So I haven't reviewed any of it.
I understand. I'm a busy sales professional and I was not served properly, and I've had very little time to prepare for this. And if there's one thing that the court, I hope, looks at is one picture where, you know, Kevin continues to come to my home, and that's it.
Okay. And let's see, the last time we were in court was August 19th. 3 weeks ago. I'm not going to consider anything filed in violation of the court's order to have it filed by September 3rd. Certainly not information filed Friday that I can't even look at yet. It's not fair to the petitioner, and it's a violation of this court's orders, and there has been sufficient time to respond 3 weeks and 2 weeks to get that information in. And this is so we're going to go forward on what information was before the court by September 3rd. So
I understand. I did attempt to file it, but I did receive an email back from that I could forward to you that said that it was somehow the wrong. I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Of your argument, you can speak all about that. But as to that motion, I am granting the petitioner's motion not to consider anything that's filed from either side after September 3rd. So, Mr. Foster, then on behalf of your client, there's not an order issued yet. You're asking the court to issue one, and I'll just turn to you for your evidence, witnesses, whatever
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Mr. Noah did supply quite a bit of materials upon filing the petitions, various text messages, as well as a statement from himself. Ultimately, Your Honor, the parties dated off and on for about 5 years. They were never married. They never had children together. And it is something they've kind of been breaking up over the last couple of years. Mr. Noah has requested that she stop having contact with him, that she no longer reach out to him. Upon kind of making that official, she's reached out to his ex-wife. She's had numerous text communications with his ex-wife, Amy. I think those were submitted in her materials as well, asking Amy, the ex-wife of Mr. Noah, to be on board with the Take Down Kevin Noah program. And ultimately, ever since breaking up with her, she's threatened to make his life a living hell. And she has been requesting that he continue to maintain some sort of medical insurance on her behalf. He previously supplied the audio transcript or audio messages of that, with those recordings. We did provide the transcribed version of those as well. And ultimately she's saying, I'm going to make your life a living hell, keep me on your insurance, and making various threats. He says, what you're trying to do is blackmail, and she ultimately admits to that. He's blocked her from communication as well, and she's turned around and reached out to his brother-in-law, I think texting him over 80 times, calling him numerous times at the wee hours of the morning. She's done that to his son as well. Numerous calls, text messages, claiming that it's frantic and urgent that Mr. Noah reach out to him. She's reached out to his mother, various family members. It is harassing course of conduct that continues. He's asked her to stop this sort of behavior. There's been a false claim that she submitted to L&I. She's threatened to report him to the IRS, to take down his parents as well. All of these are very concerning behaviors that are offensive in nature. There's also text exchange where she has threatened suicide, which is a form of domestic violence. And we've also submitted her criminal history report. It shows, although none are with Mr. Noah, they are very concerning. There are past convictions for domestic violence, malicious mischief, assault. And these have all been very, very troubling for Mr. Noah. He's asked her to stop communication, and she continues, whether it's him or through third parties. And just the nature of the way, like numerous 80 text messages to his brother-in-law from I think 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning.
And which exhibits are those?
Upon filing his petition, so I think it's within petitioner and then petitioner statement with exhibits. It consists of 26 pages.
All right, so that's the, all right. Here it is. Where'd it go?
And
Okay, so your client statement from August 7th, and then the attachments.
Correct. So a lot of the information that you provide well previously. And a lot of those various forms, if you scroll down, there's some of them are from her, and then some have no caller ID, or they're through a kind of a third-party software whereby you can send a text communication or a phone and kind of disguise your number as well. There's text messages showing it's a different number than what her regular number is. So she's using third-party software. She's using essentially third party. She's trying to get to him. She's continuing to harass him. So he is requesting that the court issue a no contact order for a 5-year period. Thank you.
And so the information trying to see, I've got kind of March is, I have 3 transcribed. Are they text messages that are transcribed or cell phone recording?
So I
And
believe
those
it
are
was,
all in March?
yeah, that was an audio recording from, I believe recorded from his cell phone.
Okay.
And I think they're labeled as A, B, and C.
And then the statement of your client from August 7th with all the attachments of screenshots, I guess I'll call them, of text messaging back and forth. Some of them, it's hard to tell when this happened. Some have dates. Can you help me with that? Are these things recent in 2024?
There are some older ones. You'll notice that the various calls are from most recently, as of going into June and July, and numerous various calls in July of this year.
And Captain Crazy, who's that?
That is what Mr. Noah has labeled as Jen. So.
Okay. So there's Jen Gray, there's unknown, there's no caller ID, and then Captain Crazy. All right. These are things received throughout July. And then let's try to.
Right there is when you can't see what we're necessarily looking at.
So, Mr. Foster, your client came into the court August 9th. I think this was filed. So, why then? We've got things going all the way back to March of 2024. What caused him? Was there something in particular that caused him to come into the court on August 9th?
Your Honor, it's continuing behavior, and he does own and operate a haunted house in the Thurston County area, and it's anticipated that that's going to be opening here at the end of the month. And he has concerns that Miss Gray is going to attempt to sabotage that business operation as well.
And why does he believe that? Maybe you can point me to some of these exhibits as to why that is a concern.
Well, she has reported to L&I and made a claim that she had worked there at one point, and Mr. Noah denies that. There's been, I think if you look at the text messages, I believe he has shown that she submitted a Google review of the business, kind of disparaging the business as well. There's a text exchange where she is guaranteeing that he's going to have a decline in revenue. And let's see if I can find, it looks like those text messages are from July 11th. And trying to see if I can.
Okay, there it is. 2 texts from July 11th.
Yes.
Right.
So the middle one on the bottom section, and it says, has the 7-8 guarantee a 20% decline in revenue. You'll have zero clue as to what's happening of some sort.
Has there been, does he attribute any of this, as you said, quote unquote, sabotage of his business to Ms. Gray in the past or recent past?
Well, I mean, she's threatening to take down his business. She's filed an L&I claim. Has there been anything in years past with the business? I'm not sure. I don't know. But in terms of this text message directly to him, as well as the text message to his ex-wife, Amy, She has threatened that she's asked Amy to get on board of the Kevin Noah takedown program. So and that was submitted, I believe, by both parties. I mean, she's attempting to sabotage him, sabotage his business, and threaten to take him down. She's admitted that she is attempting to blackmail him. And the other, I mean, she is in various text exchange, she's also threatened suicide. That itself is a form of domestic violence.
And before the 9th, when your client came to the court, contact with Ms. Gray. Now he's asked her to stop doing this, but this kind of, from his point of view, when did he put a strong end to it?
Yeah, do you want to go ahead and speak to that?
Hello, Your Honor. So after the initial date, about 2 days later, I got the call from L&I asking about Jennifer and an L&I claim. And so as part of her being upset and doing whatever, what she thinks she's going to do, I decide, at that point, that's when I'd made the choice. I better get an attorney to help, because this is going to potentially go beyond this. And I would say back at the end of May, June, it was kind of like on my end officially done. And then in July, when she texted me about 80 texts, 40, and this is all between 11 and 3 a.m. texting. And then I didn't respond. So then she reached out to my brother-in-law, my son, and my ex-wife. And so she's trying to get everybody to jump on board to just to, like, I don't know, become against me and do awful things. I actually have one of the luckiest people that have a good relationship with my ex-wife, as far as everything that goes on, and we get along just fine. And she's trying to tarnish that. And I just don't understand why.
So how did you tell Ms. Gray that to stop in May, June? Mr. Foster, your connection is frozen, so we're not hearing you right now. So we're just gonna pause.
They're still cutting out.
Okay, now you're back. So I asked your client around May or June, Mr. Noya, say that, can you describe to me how you told Ms. Gray just to stop contacting you?
In July, it was through a text. And then even prior to that, there's multiple texts that I've submitted of, please stop contacting me. And then she's offered, come out, it's just a cycle. And so she's like, she'll apologize to me and say, I'm good, we're good. And we had kind of a nice, not even a fallout. And at the end of May, she came over and got her stuff. I even took her to her storage facility, helped her out. And she's, I thought things were going to end on kind of a good note in a sense. And then it just, all of a sudden, it just flared up. And then if something happens and I'm going to commit suicide. And so it's something I've been trying to get out of and like just trapped in. And then after I got the attorney, Mr. Foster, then the records came up of her past history. And I did have a declaration from her last boyfriend that she assaulted, and she has continued to try to contact him. And then
I'm more concerned about what's happened with you. So I understand that that's been filed. It's not really that pertinent to this at all. So So was there any relationship, any intimacy between, May when it all sparked up again in July?
No, nothing since May.
All right, so you helped her move all her things wherever she wanted them and then thought it was done. And then July, you start receiving information without contacting her?
Correct.
All right. Can you talk to me about this L&I claim and why you believe it's false? What's that about? When did that happen?
That happened on, I think it was like the 11th or 12th that the L&I called me and said that Jen filed a back claim that she injured her back as an employee of me and I have no employees.
Okay, and when was that? You said the 11th or 12th of what month?
Of August. It was like 2 or 3
Okay.
days after the 9th.
All right, and so you're dealing with that L&I claim now?
Yeah, she's looking into it. And then they were gonna get back to me and I haven't heard anything since.
And then you say there was a threat to your parents from Ms. Gray about reporting to the IRS? What's that you know?
A lot of that has to tie in with medical insurance. She has been blackmailing me for over a year about keeping her on insurance, and she's gonna turn me into the IRS, which I don't understand why. I'm up to date on my taxes, and I have no idea what my parents have to do with it, but there's been multiple threats of just, I'm gonna do this, come to my work. That's on one of those A, B, and C videos, make my life a living hell, and just awful stuff. And I'm just, there's just so many things on text that are just awful texts that are, obviously inappropriate to say, but, and I'm just, I've been
This
trying.
relation, yeah, so you ended this relationship, you say in August, there was no other intimacy, no other go back and forth after August of last year?
No, it'd be May of this year.
May, okay, got that. All right. And then since then, in July, you received, say, about 80 texts in the wee hours in the morning.
Yeah.
And then when you didn't respond, your ex-wife, your son, and your brother started receiving texts from Ms. Gray.
Correct. There are some texts in June that she was texting me, and I did respond to her that inviting me over, like I've got dinner, come, and I'll see you at 10, just all these assumptions. And I responded like, hey, I'm not interested, leave me alone. And so I think at the end of June was when I officially have not responded to anything.
Okay. But since May, you've said not interested and tried to get her belongings to her and successfully did that.
Correct.
Can you help me understand this whole issue about the insurance coverage? Why is that a bone of contention?
Because I have really good insurance through the company I work at, and we made an agreement that I would cover her through the end of 23. And then I said, if you just be, I don't know, kosher with everything and part ways and move forward, it'll be okay. And so she threatened to blackmail me, and I'm going to come down to your work if you take me off. And then she threatened she's going to end my life if I take her off insurance, and all these threats have been around this insurance.
How did you take that statement that she was going to end your life? What did you think that meant?
I mean, in the recording, I just told her, I go, that's a pretty serious threat. And she said, yeah, it is.
What did you think it meant? What did you take it to mean?
I don't know, with the stuff I've seen with her, the threats of the suicide, like, I don't know what she's capable of. And Jen has a serious drinking problem. It is the fuel that's added to all these occasions. That's why all these texts are like 11 to 3 a.m. And, you know, and I've got everybody, I've been asking how to help her to a point, and I've
Oh, now you froze up again. The connection froze up again. Can you hand me the paperwork? Give me it all when we start hearings and then I'll have it. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you're still frozen here. Yeah, the connection, Mr. Foster, I don't know if you can hear us, it's still frozen.
I apologize. Are you there?
We're back. Okay. So we'll keep soldiering on. So Mr. Noah, what did you think that statement to end your life meant? What did you think?
I think it's a way for her to scare me and put fear of that she's capable of doing anything. And based off of
Did it work? Did it put you in fear? Did that work? Did it put you in fear?
Well, yeah, I was afraid, and you know, but I have no explanation why, you know, that was in a time where, you know, I have seen her since she said that, so that's hard to say what the I'm just now I'm more afraid of what she can do now that, you know, if this happens to where, you know, I don't know. When I come out of the house and open the garage, I kind of look outside. My kids were a little nervous after the 9th, you know, because she said, I'm going to threaten, I'm going to take you down. And so 2 days after our initial hearing, the first thing I get's a call from LNI, just causing more problems for myself.
Okay. All right. Foster, anything else? I think I've asked the questions I want to ask at this point. Anything else on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and so then I will hear from Ms. Gray, and then Ms. Gray, Mr. Foster will have an opportunity to ask questions as well on behalf of his client. So Ms. Gray, your response to this request for a restraining order, anti-harassment order.
I mean, I clearly do not want a protection order against myself. But if the court has to, like, I would like one and not retaliate. Like, I just feel like everything up until, I'm sorry, I'm nervous and I'm upset. I'm trying to gather my thoughts. I have a lot of notes. I do not want to leave this court without a protection order too.
Well, this is only about the it's only this request. So that's before the court. Mr. Noah's request is the only case before the court, and that's what I'm trying to determine.
Well, I can't ask one for, I'm not able to ask.
The only, you sure can, but not today. That is not before the court. So you can certainly tell me what you think I should do or not do.
Well,
and that's what I'm hoping to hear from you.
Okay, well, then I would like it dropped so I can ask for a protection order myself. You know, everything that he has said is half truths and BS and just snippets, you know, his little clips of nonsense. I mean, the things that he's provided to the courts have 0 dates. I know that I inundated the court with things, but they all are timestamped. They're all real. He has reached out my, you know, declarations that I provided to the courts that I did get on time. My lengthy declaration. I just wanted to get it all in so there's history. My boss, my previous boss, you know, he's saying that I'm reaching out to people and I'm being, you know, doing things that are reaching out to his brother-in-law, reaching out to his son. He's reaching out to a previous employer who is a professional reference. It's kind of a big deal. It's someone that I can use if I love my job, my current job. My current boss loves me. I'm doing well.
So you did file some declarations. Let me help direct you here. And I don't know who these people
Todd
are.
Weiss.
You've
So
got,
Todd Weiss is a former employer. In January of 2024, this year, Kevin took him to lunch. And because I've maintained a relationship with Todd, it's a professional situation where, networking, whatever. He's constantly trying to fill roles, and I was a great employee. And
okay. So let me ask you then. So what I hear from, if you can answer some of this, what I hear from Mr. Noah and what we've heard today is that sometime in May, he believes that he put a firm stop to this, that there was some assistance in getting property back and forth. And then in July, he receives a lot of texts, his brother, his son, his ex-wife do too. So any comment on that testimony?
1000%. I'm embarrassed by my texts. There's been continued contact that I don't have documentation because I am a sales professional. I work, I have kids. I'm doing well. I didn't have time to prepare very well because I was traveling for work, and I'm just getting out of look at my LinkedIn profile. I have a women in dentistry thing. Like, I have a lot going on. I'm not sitting at home recording things and whatever. Maybe I'm emotional because I'm spread thin.
Well, tell me about the context that you wanted to tell me. You can testify to that. Tell me what you know.
Contacts? Oh, well, there's a lot of contacts. He has reached out to my friend Hannah Hart via LinkedIn. He's not even on LinkedIn. He has 6 contacts. I have like 8,000 because I use
So
LinkedIn.
is that recently, or what happened there, and why is that?
I don't know why, but I get contact. I don't have time to dig into it or look into it. I don't care, but it feels like a poke. It feels like I just get constant pokes. I spoke with my girlfriend, Katie Braniak from Scottsdale, a best friend, whatever. Like, I don't talk to her all day, every day, but Kevin's been sharing pictures with her and, sending like inappropriate sexual blah, blah, blah. She didn't want to get involved because she's honestly scared of him too.
So those statements, you say you're not proud of the statements you made in some of those
I'm not proud of
exhibits
my text.
I had to review.
Yeah.
And so, but there were some statements in there that we've talked about here about ending his life, making his life a living hell, joining the project, the takedown program. Can you tell me
I would love to.
Your response to that?
I loved Kevin. I loved him dearly, and I trusted him. And I have, clearly his attorney provided my criminal background. I've had a long history of domestic violence and abuse, and I am a survivor. And I thought Kevin was different. And so during our 7-year relationship, I wanted to believe him. I wanted to support his business. I wanted to whatever. But the last 2 years, I did see things. I told him, if we get married, I am not going to sign anything, because I dealt with an ex-husband that took me down financially. In 2009, Gary Gray, he took me down, $500,000 IRS bill. So I told Kevin, I was like, you need to form an LLC. You need to start paying your people appropriately. You need to blah, blah. And then fast forward, I love this man. Fast forward, I didn't get paid. So the takedown project is pay your taxes, pay your people appropriately. I worked a full-time job, sales professional. Look me up on LinkedIn. I work and I'm successful and I meet quotas. I'm a good human. Clearly I'm emotional.
So the
Clearly
takedown project is
pay your taxes.
Your frustration over the way he's running his business.
Yeah. And
then
if you listen to the videos he provided, he's taunting me. He's laughing at me. I love what he provided to the courts. I love it. I love it.
So what about the comments, end your life and make your life a living hell? Any comment there?
The only, and I don't even know where that came from, honestly. Like, I mean, there was, I provide context. I mean, a lot of things have been said out of emotion. The only end your life project I've had is I have felt suicidal over the last year or two with him because I did trust him. I did build his business. Yeah, like I didn't get paid for my time at his business. And on top of that, my business suffered and I've been so spread thin and I'm so tired. And I'm not going to allow him to take me down. And there have been moments where I've drank too much and I have wanted to end my life. Like, but I have children and I wake up in the morning and I'm not proud, but I'm tired. I'm tired of this. And
Let me ask you
I want to
about
protect
when you
too.
think, when did this come to an end, do you think?
It's so confusing. I mean, he's such a master manipulator, and it's like, and that's what's so confusing about him. He's like, I love you. And then he just, I don't have a date, but probably June.
And why do
Mid-June.
you say June? Why do you say probably June?
The actual end date where like it was done.
You think, yeah, what you think? Why do you say probably June?
I don't know. Personally, I was holding on to hope and lies and prayer. If I'm being logical and taking emotion out of it and trying to think like a judge, January.
And why do you think, why do you say January? Why do you think?
Well, he decided to move all of my things, quote unquote, out of his home. And I, in the process, he selectively moved garbage into a storage unit that's totally inconvenient for me to access. And later I moved it. I'm like, at least I'd like to have my Christmas belongings in Tacoma. And as I was going through it, like, I don't even know what's in there. I have no clue, but I do know that he put Goodwill items and his kids' dirty, like just
so January
middle finger garbage in there.
Okay, so January moves your things out into a storage unit or some stuff into a storage unit, tells you that's where it is. But
then in February, he's contacting me from Thailand. He went to Thailand. When he went to Thailand, I didn't even know where he went. I'm trying to move on. I went to my own self-help situation, paid $8,000.
So, but then you also said probably June. What does that mean? What did you hear or sense or something that says June?
I
was
don't
the
know.
End of this?
I honestly don't have an end date with him. He'll probably be at my doorstep tomorrow.
Do you remember him at all? I mean, the testimony here was that he told you to stop.
I've told him to stop, and yeah, we've both been
to stop too.
And
Do you know when that last was? When was the last time you told him to stop?
It's been, honestly, I don't. I'm busy. Like, I don't have Kevin's life. I mean, he works like 5 hours a week as a city inspector and has his haunted house business. I don't have time to record like he does and document and snippet stuff. I'm just living my life and surviving.
So do you think this filing of this request for an order, is that a pretty big stop?
Pardon me?
Is this filing of a request for a restraining order against you? Would you consider that's a stop? Don't contact me?
Yes. And I thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, I have no desire to have any contact with Kevin, no, ever again. You know that.
And I don't want
anything.
Desire, and yet there was contact.
Pardon me?
Has it happened in the recent past that you didn't have any desire to contact him and then the two of you are contacting each other again?
I think that's been mutual. No contact, don't call me. It's been so mutual. But 8-5, since January, I've not trusted a word he has said to me, but I still had feelings for him. So it was very complicated. And so I allowed him back into my life, even knowing it was a bad idea. And so there was mutual stop. But 8-5 for me is a hard stop. I don't want to be back in court regarding a protection order. I want no further contact with him I will not contact him.
Okay.
I want nothing to do with him, and I plan on being paid and hopefully getting a few of my things. Like there's some personal, like something, like so many personal belongings that I will likely never, ever, ever get. That's very painful. So yeah, it's been a.
Let me see if Mr.
ride.
Foster particular questions to ask of Ms. Gray on behalf of his client.
Your Honor, we don't have any questions.
All right. Anything more, Ms. Gray?
No.
No. All right. Let me kind of look through a few things here and I'll tell you where we are. All right. Okay, so Mr. Noah, Ms. Gray, I am finding that there is unlawful harassment that's been committed by Ms. Gray against Mr. Noah, meaning that I am issuing an order protecting Mr. Noah against Ms. Gray, and I'm finding that because it was I think, credible testimony that was there pretty firm, not once, but more than once, but a firm time of telling to stop, not interested. Involvement by Ms. Gray when there were 80+ texts sent to Mr. Noah against his wishes that he didn't respond to, and then trying to entice family members, son, brother, ex-wife, into having contact with him. The repeated statements that ending your life, making your life a living hell, this takedown project, trying to enlist others. It's clear that Ms. Gray, you've committed unlawful harassment under the law against Mr. Noah, and so I'm issuing this order. Now, this order will be in effect for the next year, so through September 9th of next year. Mr. Noah has the opportunity to either let that expire naturally on the 9th of September of next year, or within 3 months of it expiring, sometime after the beginning of June, he can contact the court and ask the court to consider extending it for a longer period of time. And let Mr. Noah, Mr. Foster talk. To extend it for a further period of time, there would be a hearing. All the parties would be before the hearing. The burden of proof, as we call it, would then be on Ms. Gray to show that the harassment would not continue, and the court would make findings and determine should the order continue for longer. But at this stage, 1 year, and I'm looking at the petition, Mr. Foster, I'll turn to you. I'm looking at the petition as to the request. So as to the request of what the provisions of this order should be on behalf of your client.
Well, Your Honor, I was going to request if the court would consider extending it through November 1st of next year. I know obviously he can come and seek a renewal prior to next year's expiration that the court's established, but given that he does run the haunted house business, we'd ask the court to consider extending it through November 1st of next year. If he does renew it at that time, then he does, but just consider almost a year and a few months in terms of the duration of this.
see it past that, that business that he's running, obviously off after the Halloween period when that business is at its peak.
Correct.
Okay. Any other provisions here, when I look at the petition that, let me get to those pages.
Initially get petition through the end of.
There is no harm, no contact with Cody and Kyler, no stalking behavior, exclude and stay away from Mr. Noah, his residence, his workplace. Any changes to the requests, Mr. Foster?
As long as it has place of residence, place of employment and business.
That's what was requested, workplace and residence.
And the haunted house business.
That seems to have some. I would do that. I don't know if there's an address or what, or a name of it, or.
Yeah, there is, it's 4548
4548
Marvin Road, Southeast.
Lacey?
It's actually Olympia, and it's 98503.
Okay. And then Cody and Kyler, they're both still living in your residence, or at least partially.
They're actually at college now.
They
And
both are?
Yeah.
You just dropped them off over the weekend.
So they do come to visit or stay?
Correct.
All right. And they're members of your household then when they're not in college?
Yeah, at this point, yes. They can roam wherever they would please. They're adults.
Okay. So I will extend this out to that point. I think there's facts in this petition and in our testimony today. So out to November 1st, 2025. This will naturally expire on that day unless we have another hearing with everyone present and talk more about it, whether it will continue past that. The members of Mr. Noah's household, Cody and Kyler, are included here. Let me get to that. So no harm, don't cause any physical bodily injury, assault, non-consensual sexual conduct, or sexual penetration, don't harass, threaten, or stalk Mr. Noah. Don't contact him through family, through friends, through social media in any way, indirectly through third parties in any way. And the members of his household, Cody and Kyler. And their last name is Noah, Mr. Noah?
Correct.
Right, and no stalking behavior, don't harass, follow, monitor, keep under physical or electronic surveillance, cyber harass, don't use phone, video, audio, or other electronic means to record, photograph, or track locations, digital, wire, electronic communication in any way of Mr. Noah and Cody and Kyler. And stay away, and you're excluded from being within 1,000 feet of Mr. Noah, Cody and Kyler, knowingly being in 1,000 feet, his residence, workplace, and his other business located at 4548 Marvin Road, Southeast in Olympia. I think that covers the restrictions that have basis in our findings that I've made here. Anything else, Mr. Foster, on behalf of your client?
No, yeah. Thank you.
And There is no requirement for Ms. Gray to be served notice of this order. She's here. And but this will be available through the court. It'll be in the court file here certainly by this afternoon or tomorrow, but it will be available at anyone's request.
May I
And you
ask a
can,
question?
sure, you can access the court's file on your own with your Zoom instructions. And Ms. Gray?
May I ask a question?
Right, Ms. Gray?
Okay. I just was wondering how I get protection because I don't want him to contact my employer or my previous bosses or my, professional references or my friends or my family or my children. There's been constant contact. How do I protect myself?
The same way that Mr. Noah has requested.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. So that's it for this morning. As I said, this order will be in the court file for all of you to get access to. So Ms. Gray, you can be on your way. Mr. Foster, Mr. Noah as well.
Thank you.
Well, I love how the judge didn't want to hear her garbage at the end. Every time she asked a question, just blew her off. Hey, you're gonna be in the paperwork. File the paperwork. Do what you need to do. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf and Raiders. I was looking around. I don't have anything else to keep going. What I will start doing, just in case, is on Mondays I'll make sure we got at least 2 hours worth of stuff so we can keep rolling. Today was a rough day. I was trying to get some drone video for Fozzie and decided to take my drone swimming, so I gotta deal with that. But I appreciate you guys. I don't know if anyone knew this, but it's Jasmine's birthday, or it was Jasmine's birthday sometime in the last year. So make sure to tell her hi and happy birthday and ask her a dozen questions. That'll keep her busy for a while. Fozzie's asking about the video. I told you what happened with the drone, Fozzie. That all the video goes in the water with it. So this lady here, like I mentioned before, she'll have another guy before the day's over. She's obviously not the problem, and her dog. I wish the judge made her show the dog at the end to prove the dog wasn't hurt, but maybe next time, maybe on the next protection order, we'll get to see the dog and make sure the dog's okay. And so, thank you guys for coming out, and we'll see y'all Monday.